want a garden so I can grow, and you can only go so far on your own.
So I'm at the Welsh Permaculture gathering and I'm with Looby Macnamara in person for a change because we often meet on Zoom. So delighted to be with you. And I wanted to ask you, what are you thinking about at the moment? What's brewing inside you? I know you've just done a course with John Young, and that's always quite a fertile ground for you to sort of explore the edges of your thinking, and you've just released Design Adventures as well, your latest book. So this is a time where, you know, there's a bit of room perhaps in the mind and the ecosystem of Looby to explore new stuff. So I wondered if you'd tell us a little bit about the edges that you're exploring. What are you harvesting at the moment? What's making you smile?
That was lots of questions,
I know,
wasn't it? And
lots of choice.
Yeah, and I think I'm just really excited about empowering people to explore their edges, explore their selves as designers. So rather than thinking this is the way to design and to do this, to think of designing and as a process. So rather than I'm making a design and the design is like the end goal, to think about us as stepping into this dialogue, this conversation that can be with nature, that can be with our bodies, that can be with other people, and there is this ongoing conversation and reframing, designing from like a destination that we're heading for to this dynamic, organic, interactive, collaborative process, and that excites me because then we're all stepping into this adventure and really accessing our own resources as designers. So how we show up as designers is going to be different for each person, and so that means that I don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen. All sorts of things can happen individually and collectively as well, because I think that's really important to think about what happens when we collectively increase our design skills, when we bring more and more people into the movement and empower them and ask for their contributions and engage them, and that's really exciting. Yeah.
Thank you. So what would you say to someone who says, hey, I'm not a designer, I don't know anything about design, you know, that's actually a bit other and scary? What would you say to anyone who doubts their capacity to have an adventure with you or with themselves?
With themselves, yeah. Well, I think designing is natural for us as human beings, and actually we're doing it all the time. All the time we're like, oh, I want to get to the Welsh Permaculture Festival, how do I get here? Or I want to plan a meal, like what do I do? Or I want to organise a party. So we're all the time doing it, but not necessarily thinking about it, and not necessarily training ourselves up to be really skilled at it. So when we start realising that we do it all the time, then we can start then saying, oh, what happens if I actually really put my attention here and increase my skills and pay attention and give intention to what I want to design, and then start thinking, well, where is it in my life that I would like to improve, and just streamline, and sort of starting with where we're at, and then thinking, oh, well, actually this has helped here, actually what I'd really like to do is get to here in my life. Maybe I can use the same design thinking and framework to step forward to my vision. So I think starting with where you're at and really reflecting on that and really sort of like celebrating the successes that we have as designers, and not thinking of designers as like design as something out there and like professional and corporate or anything like that. It's like, well, which of course that's part of the process and people might want to go down that route, but it's still starting with where we're at.
And you've got a thing which I really like, which is one of the things that you wrote about and have experimented with a sort of completely international audience, which is microgreens and micro designs. And I wondered if you wanted to say something about microgreens, because we're talking about, like, we're all designers and we have this starting place. So tell us a bit about microgreens.
Yeah, so I think one of the challenges that people have when they're designing for living systems, and that's whether you're designing for your garden or your well-being or some project you're doing, one of the challenges is always like, how do I make it complete? Because I'm designing for a living system that's growing and evolving. And so then it becomes kind of quite amorphous and difficult to kind of pin down. So the idea of the microgreens is you choose something really small that has got boundaries. So it's like, design my week ahead, and you know, okay, well, your week finishes, you've finished your design, and so you get experienced with that feeling of completion of a design, and then you can scale up to bigger things. And with microgreens, when you're like harvesting these small vegetables, you're getting a really quick turnaround, and you're like getting the nutrients. So with microgreen designs, you want to grab the nutrients from your learnings, from your design, that enables you to do something bigger as well.
And something that you do with your work, so you do the small stuff, the microgreens, but then you scale it right up. So you have people, and indeed communities of people, and all over the world, who are identifying what they really want their lives to look like, their dreams, and then designing the step-by-step process towards their dreams. And that's really exciting.
Yes, and then even taking it beyond that as well, and thinking, okay, well, actually, can we step into these visionary designs collectively as well? Like, what would it mean to really think about how we could use design to solve problems of climate change? What would it mean to, like, say, okay, well, what would a world without sexual violence look like? Can we actually design that pathway? Because and so really, like, taking our visionary things out, but that's and then also as well seeing our lives as this design ecosystems. There's many designs. It's not just one design. It's many designs that we can do,
and
that's
big and small and
big
medium.
and small. Exactly,
and community.
Yes, and that they all relate to each other as well, and they feed each other, and there's learnings and wisdom and support that can move between the designs that we have. So that's one of the parts of my book, from microgreens to design ecosystems.
And then you've got this global community that you've been building for some years now, of people doing all this stuff together and sharing their experience generously and freely. So how does, if anyone's watching here now, how does someone get into this and access the resources? You know, what's there and what's on offer?
Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to do with this book was also give really big examples of designs, because it's not so easy. What does a design for your health and well-being look like? Or what does your design for an event look like? All these different things. And when you say you can do design for anything, what does that really mean? So I wanted to, in conjunction with the book, have a design adventures library where people can go and see all these different expressions of designing. And I think from people looking at these different designs, what they'll realise is there is no one right way, and they can do it their way and however you want. But there's so much juiciness and inspiration in there with the Design Adventures Library, so I'm really pleased to share that.
The Design Adventures Library.
Yes.
So this is an online resource.
Yes.
On a website, which we'll give the link to.
Yes, exactly, and then people can see designs, not just from me as well, from people all around the world, and there's spaces to share your own and share reflections and things. So it's a great like online platform we have.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you've got like free calls that people can attend.
Yeah,
Online.
so there's lots of different things that people can engage with, both free and then also things where you can get more if you want to join the movement and be part of that and pay it. Like we've got monthly plans and things, so yeah, people can engage.
And you've got a newsletter as well, which kind of opens the door to everything that you're doing within your ecosystem, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah. With Applewood, with Culture Emergence, with Design Adventures, and people,
because you're not just kind of abstractly designing. You've also got a permaculture education centre, and you write books.
Absolutely, I've got design ecosystems definitely, and people can get the Culture Emergence Principles colouring book as well when they sign up for the newsletter
and cards.
Just, join in with that. So
and all sorts of things.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's a very populated and rich experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Maddy. Thank you for
you.
your contributions to the design ecosystems.
My pleasure. Thanks.
I want a garden so I can grow, and you can teach me